Morning, gang. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of October 2019. Welcome along to the Chapel Hill Marina and this morning's United Kingdom talk, boys and girls. Lovely sunshine out there at the moment. Really looks nice outside. So I'm looking forward to disappearing outside a little bit later on in my car to the swimming pool, which is where I went yesterday after. Just to let you know, super chatters, those of you that send a super chat now and again, which is always very kind. Some people send a quid, some people a couple of quid, whatever. Some people even send as much as £4.99. Gosh, well, your little items, your gifts, I wouldn't say they were prizes, not prizes really, your gifts are on their way. Now, I was a little bit concerned that people might try and pull the wool over my eyes and get a super chat gift when they have never even sent a super chat, but don't worry. I found a list. It's all lists for everything, dear. There's a list of it on in secret. I think I don't think you can see it on my YouTube information thing. So I'll have the little list there, and when they come, just send us your address, and I'll get one off to you. All right. If you've not done a super chat before, and you want one, that's like a little gift. Because people kind of, I never ask, I wouldn't ask for you to please do a super chat and send cash. Would never ask that. But some people like to do it, and I'd like to give something back in return. So those gifts are on their way at the moment. You can still, there's loads of them. Okay, there's quite a few of those. Unlike the fridge, where have I put them? Fridge magnets. There's only about 42 of those left. If you want to win one of those, you'll have to get a raffle ticket. Yes, we'll be giving out the raffle tickets a little bit later on. If you're new to the show, welcome along. If you're watching on Facebook, don't forget, gang, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be disappearing from Facebook. You'll still get a link, but the show itself will only be on YouTube. Wrong one. There it is. There we are. But the show itself will only be on YouTube. You need to sign up to my YouTube there. Okay? It's not clickable, I'm afraid. You can't click on that. It won't work as a link. But you'll need to type that into YouTube. Hit the subscribe button there to continue to be able to watch the show through YouTube. All right, my darlings. The reason for that is it's so much easier having everything in the same place, and sometimes messages and things get lost and that sort of thing going from one sort of platform to the other. That would make it a lot easier if everyone was watching on the YouTube. So please sign up there. That's the little address there, which I'll leave up there for a little while. Okay. Thanks for your messages coming in this morning. I shall read some of those in a moment for you. So that's the super chats are on the way. If you were with the show yesterday, you will have remembered I put the microphone in front of me there, and most of you are saying it sounds okay. I'll assume that most of you were listening sort of on an iPhone or watching a show on an iPhone. I mean, how do you watch it? I'm assuming most people watch a show on an iPhone or an iPad or a tablet or something like that. When I listened through my telly, which hasn't actually not got a particularly good speaker system on it, it's like the speaker within the telly. All these flat screen tellies, you have to blooming well buy a decent set of speakers for it to sound any good, don't you? But I haven't got that here, not in the caravan. I've just got the speaker within the telly, and I did watch back where I moved the microphone from here to there, and I was not happy with that sound at all. I don't think you can really notice it on an iPhone, but it didn't sound particularly good to me, so I shan't be doing that. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of DIY today. I've got to get a piece of wood from that'd be fun. A piece of wood from B&Q, because this shelf in front of me is so small. It's like how wide is this? I'll show you how wide this shelf is. It's not much wider than that bit of paper. The shelf in front of me, and things keep falling down the back, and I want to change a couple of little bits in here, so I'm going to go to B&Q later and get a piece of wood cut for me, and it'll be stuck to this with sticky fixing things. Oh no, we can't get a screwdriver out and start drilling holes or anything like that, dear. Do I look like a workman? No, exactly, no, I'm not. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm very pleased to say the rain eventually stopped yesterday, but not before enormous puddles appeared on this little caravan site. I mean, the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex. Great big puddles. There's some of the caravans around here, they had like this much water, not enough to drown you or even swimming. But there was that much water. You would have got wet feet. sort of moving from the caravan to the road. So hopefully that'll go down today. I'm not really surrounded by water where I am. Luckily, it all kind of goes in the ground, you know. So that was that. I went down the swimming pool. After that, I went into Aldi, got some Beetroot burgers. Highly recommended. The girl on the till, often the girls on the till, I don't think they see many of them. And she picked it up and she's looking at this thing and she's putting it through. I said, yes, have you tried them yet? She said, no, not yet. She says, but I might. I said, dude, they're really nice. Beetroot burgers in Aldi, just £1.49 for two. Okay, came back here, had my lunch, then I went to my nephew's last night, Gary's, and his wife Stacey. She done me a nice dinner. Baked beans with on jacket potato with just a touch of cheese. In fact, yesterday afternoon I had baked beans as well. And by the evening, oh my God, you couldn't breathe. When I went to bed last night, I couldn't breathe in that bedroom, dear. I kept waking up through the noise of the air leaving my body. It was like I was doing a very good impression of my sister, who has that problem terribly, I'm afraid, as you well know. As you well know. So that was my day yesterday. All right, lots of news stories to chat about today, including this one. Unidentified spying object. They're watching. Yeah, if you've seen that film, War of the Worlds, we are watching you. You know that one. Well, asteroids that fly dangerously close to Earth may be used by aliens. Yes. To spy on you, according to a new study. It says a bonkers new study in The Sun this morning. Why is it bonkers? I think that's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Asteroids flying by with aliens. I mean, we have this opinion that aliens are kind of strange-looking versions of ourselves with long arms, legs and green heads. No, that's incorrect. That is what people look like when you've been on an acid tab. Aliens don't necessarily have to be... We look for life in the same format that we are life. Do you see what I mean? You know, has to have so much water, has to breathe, has to do this. How do you know that life not like us exists somewhere else? Something completely different that we would never dream of. Like something in Star Trek, perhaps. Rocks that come alive. Rocks. They don't think the same as us. They don't look the same as us. They haven't got any water in them. You know. I think we're looking about this life in other planets in a completely different way. Anyway, it says space rocks and other near Earth-like objects, that's anything within 4.7 million miles of our planet, start walking now, you know, could hide extraterrestrial tech or possibly aliens themselves. They're perfect for secret spy operations because they're small and difficult to track, with tens of thousands fizzing past our planet every year. I saw, was it 2 or 3 shooting stars last week? See? Is it a shooting star? Is it just a piece of rock? Or does it contain a webcam transmitting pictures of the Earth to other planets? Yes, exactly. That provides resources for these near Earth objects. Provides an ideal way to watch our world from a secret natural object, says this researcher. That provides resources an extraterrestrial intelligence might need: materials, a firm anchor and concealment. We all like a bit of concealment. I see some of you could do with some of that on your face this morning, to be honest. These have been little studied by astronomy and not at all by the search for extraterrestrial intelligence or planetary radar observations. It says more than 20,000 near-Earth asteroids have been discovered so far, according to NASA. Here is an independent scientist. One of the group's scientists exclusively revealed to The Sun last month that a mysterious object, no, it's not my sister, no, a mysterious object, well, it could have been her, couldn't it? She is a bit of a mysterious object, to be honest, sometimes. I don't recognise her sometimes. That a mysterious object approaching the solar system may be an alien spacecraft. You know. Thing is, what would happen if you bumped into an alien? I bet you'd be the same as you are as with a wasp or a spider or some sort of insect like that, a mosquito. I bet you'd, oh, I don't like that, flatten it straight away. That's what would happen. According to Dr. Benford, SETI and other telescope-wielding institutes should scan near-Earth objects with radar to check for spy gear. Well, again, check for spy gear, like spy gear as we know it. It might be something completely different that we cannot comprehend. There's a lot of people watching this show this morning that can't comprehend it, let alone space objects flying in the sky. Oh, NASA reckons there are more than 20,000 of the rogue space bodies, a list that's growing every month, boys and girls. It's very frightening. It's very, very frightening. And then they got various pictures of what they think spacemen should look like. And once again, you know, the pictures are like long heads, long arms, and skinny bodies. You know, if only. Clearly, I'm not an alien at the moment, am I? With all this fat hanging around my life. You never see a fat alien. Have you noticed that? You know, when you watch these space films, I don't know, Lost in Space, Star Trek, all those things, you never ever see a thin alien, do you? I want to be an alien. They appear to be able to eat anything they want without putting on an ounce of fat. Unlike me. Mind you, last night, I don't dare tell you. I don't dare tell you. All right then, you've twisted my arm. So when I go to my nephews, not always, but sometimes I like to take a little bit of something for all of them, you know. So I stopped at the Cooperative Retail Society on the way there. I just wanted a loaf of bread, really. Well, I shouldn't be eating bread either. So I got the bread. While I was in it, I think I'd get them some chocolate. So, and I'm walking through. Guess what? The chocolate's on special offer. Cling! Money has been saved. Oh, yes. And I purchased 3 bags of Cadbury's Dairy Milk Buttons. Yes, the large ones. The ones that the Odeon Cinema charge about £5.50 for. That's £5.50. That's about $7.50 in US. So I bought 3 of those, 2 for the children and 1 for Olivia's carer. And I bought very, very large bar of chocolate, 1 for my nephew and 1 for his wife. And for myself, I'm very pleased to announce, I bought a smaller bar of chocolate. Now, when I say small, it weren't those little Freddo frog things. Okay, it was about, let me see. What have I got here that would be the same size as that bar of chocolate? I don't know. About something like that. Something like that, okay? But something like that, I reckon. Something like, you know, that one. So not the Freddo size, not the small size, not the a little bit more size, but the next one, right? So if mine was that big, my nephew and his wife's, that was that big. It was really big, those 2. So I bought 2 of those. All on special offer. All on special offer. So I got there and handed over the chocolate. And Gary looked at me. He said, oh, well, we've got you some as well. And produced a second bar of the chocolate that I bought the same size as my own. And I thought to myself, you tight-fisted bastards. You know, imagine buying me the smaller one when I've bought you the big one. I nearly kept the big ones for myself and handed over the smaller ones. But I had these, so I've now got these 2 bars of chocolate, one of which immediately was opened. Okay? So I sat there and had that before dinner. And then a little bit later on, I thought, well, I'll take the other one home and I'll have that tomorrow. Put it in the cart. No willpower. Got home, put the telly on, got back to our Lincolnshire television studio complex. Got back to the home, put the kettle on, had a cup of tea, put the Holby City on. This is about 10:30 last night, I think, 11:15. And I just have a couple of just have a strip of that chocolate. And then the whole thing was gone. So, you know, 2 bars of chocolate last night. Did I feel good while I was eating it? Yes. Did I feel bad while I was after I'd eaten it? Yes. It's so hard. Can't get off this blooming food thing. Anyway, that's the news so far from Lincolnshire. Here we go with your first lot of messages today. Good morning to Adam the plumber. Often, boys and girls, if there's loads of messages coming from the same person, there's just no time to read them out or every single message out, I'm afraid. But I will always try and give you a name trick when I see your name come up. All right, my loves. Adam the plumber, good morning to you. Hello to Diane Jebb. Mark Bowles, nice and early this morning. Mark, there wasn't a message from you this morning. Usually there's a little message from you in the morning, Mark. Very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Mark started going to the gym and the swimming pool, haven't you? Congratulations. Very good. Very good indeed. Morning to Mike Rees-Ponto. Good morning. Oh, I still haven't put your photo on the system, Mike. Sorry about that. Still haven't done that. I will have to do. I'll make sure I do that soon. I just keep forgetting. It's very bad, dear. Head like a sieve. Good morning to Jason Hughes. Morning. Hello to Liz Hargreaves, who's going to see Elle Scott Shaw today in Ireland. So good morning to you, young Liz. Hope you're well, my love. Hello to Gaz Barron. Morning, Gaz. Turned up at the last karaoke at Cleethorpes last week, didn't you, Gaz? So good morning to you, sir. So, how many songs did you sing? About 3, I think it was. Morning to Mick Davenport. Morning, sir. Everyone's nice and early today. Fun things to do with tech. Good morning, you crazy dude. Crazy dude. That makes me sound really young, doesn't it? I like that. Hello to Tony King. Morning to you, sir. Heidi is in the house. Good morning, young Heidi. Okay. Ooh. Why is that not scrolled down there? One moment. Tony King. There's Mick. Carol MC and Dave. Good morning. We have sunshine. All that rain in Cumbria. Yeah, there was some flooding last night. I saw a picture of the Thames barrier up on the Facebook this morning. It's a massive thing, that, isn't it? The old Thames barrier there. Morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds. A very good morning to Ray Reynolds. No, Heidi, haven't been to Skegness, so no keyring yet. Good morning to Tommy Flynn. Morning, Tommy. I am his Royal Berkshire man of mystery and suspense. There's not much mystery about me. I just tend to pour it all out while I'm doing the show, to be honest. Hello to Evie and Harry. Surprised your caravan hasn't exploded yet with that dirty gas you're letting out. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. It's dreadful. Adam the Plumber's just sent a super chat. Thank you, Adam. Unnecessary, but thank you very much. It is very much appreciated, Adam. £4.99. That's a big one, dear. Look, it's a different colour. That one is in... Oh, it's not blue. What's that colour between blue and green? Teak? Is it teak? Teak? I can't remember what that colour is now. It is teak, isn't it? The colour between blue and green, something like that. Thank you, Adam. Your super chatter gift will be saved for you. They should arrive next week at my house, hopefully, or this week at my house, rather. It said it was on its way, so fingers crossed with that one. Morning to Sean Pye. Good morning, Sean. There's many lists of people. Many lists. Good people, bad people, good-looking people, people I'd like to... lots of different lists, Mark. Which one are you on? Morning to Michael Pullman. Hello, Michael. Hello to there. Good morning, Gaz says, how is my bundle of joy? I cried when you left Silhouette last week. Why did you cry? Oh, please, there'll be someone else to do the karaoke. I think they're doing it in-house to save a bit of cash. Not that I was expecting. I'm very cheap. Very, very cheap. Mick was watching on the iPad. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, the microphone, you can't really tell the difference in the quality of the microphone if the quality of your speaker isn't particularly good. And it doesn't matter the fact that it's an Apple phone or anything like that. Doesn't mean you've got good sound coming out of it. I mean, I've got an Apple phone, and there's just no bass, is there? You can't fit a bass speaker in there. I wonder if they'll ever bring out bass speakers that they can actually put into a phone, or an iPad, and it would sound as good as it is. When you have those systems attached to your television. Although I must say, I've got a soundbar and a bass speaker thing attached to my television at home, and I have trouble picking out the dialogue when there's music playing behind it. It's really bad sometimes. We can't damn well hear it. I have to turn the thing right up. You've got this bass. I turn the bass down, but I just cannot hear the dialogue through the music for some reason. Heidi watches me in bed, lying in bed on her iPhone. There you go. So you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between whether I had the microphone here or there. You lose all the bass the further it goes away. Mark, use gaffer tape is the best thing, Mark. You know that, dear. Morning to Stephanie Diamond. Morning, Stephanie. Adam listens through the phone on his car radio. Well, you probably would have noticed the difference, Adam, if you've got a decent sort of bass set up in the car there. You probably would have noticed the difference yesterday towards the end of the show where I moved the microphone right back there. Morning to Claire. Hello, young Claire. Morning to you, my love. Welcome along. Pete Branch. Good morning to Pete. Heidi says Mike needs putting back on your shirt. What ear? But that's not going to make much difference. It's when it's like moved right back there. That's the difference there. Morning to Pete Branch in Brazil. I think you're Brazil, isn't it, Pete? Morning. Martin Rutherford, good morning to you. I saw a picture of you in hospital. I hope you're okay, my friend, okay? Morning to Chris from a freezing cold UCH hospital. Yes, I think most people are going to end up with colds if they haven't got one now. Can I make an appeal for blanket? Have you got blankets in there? Are you in, so to speak? Are you actually in the hospital at the moment? Are you allowed to say what minor or major operation you're having? Is it a life-changing operation or anything like that? Or, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine as well, my darling. I hope you get better soon, whatever's wrong, all right? Morning to LaBelle, her emerald-eyed cranberry of love. Morning to you. Do you like the cranberries? Don't follow her, follow me. Was that the cranberries? Can't remember now. Cranberries. They were quite a popular group, weren't they? I wasn't a massive fan there. All right. Oh, Heidi's been in hospital. Look. Poor Heidi's been in hospital, she says there. Gaz. Gaz, I've read that one, haven't I? Morning to Michael Lawrence. Pete is in Sao Paulo, of course, in Brazil. 33 degrees on this freezing spring day. Shut up. 33 degrees, please. It's a bit cold here today, I tell you. I've been eating on last night. It's works quite well, the heating in here. Good morning to DJRS. It's a red coat alien, says Roy Brownlow. A red coat alien. That's me, the fat pig size. Thanks very much, Roy. I am the fat pig size at the moment. I hope at some point to be able to jump back on that Slimming World bandwagon. I really do. Mark can't put weight on. He tries so hard. Oh, shut up. Stop upsetting me today, Mark. That's not nice, dear. He just sits there eating crisps and nothing happens. He has 10 bags of crisps and loses a stone. How'd you do that? God's sake. Good morning to the lovely curvy petal. Good morning to you, my sweetheart. Okay, Mark, more dodgy pictures of me at the gym on the way. Yeah, send them through, please. Have you got yourself in small shorts, please? Could I have a picture of that, please? I might show it to the viewers. Adam's going to whip me until I go back to Slimming World. I think that's what I need, to be honest. Hello to Paul Adamson. Morning. Morning, Paul. I recently opened a drawer to find a large bar of chocolate where I had taken one cube and left it so long the chocolate had gone that strange white. Yeah, that's not nice, is it? I mean, it's supposed to be not like dangerous, as in food that goes out of date, but it just changed the taste. I don't like it when the chocolate's gone white. In fact, you don't have to take it out the wrapper. I think it's a change in temperature that causes that. You know, if it's suddenly gone cold or hot and then it changes. I think it's something to do with the change of temperature that. Sean lives about 5 miles from the Thames flood barrier. Where are you, Sean? Whereabouts are you in the world? Oh, is it teal? That's the colour. Teal. Thank you very much. Teal is the £4.99 super chat colour. Teal. Yes. And I think red is, I don't know what it goes up to. Red is certainly £1, £2. I think we've had £1 and £2. I can't remember what colours they are. I just wonder, don't do this. Do not do this. I wonder what colour it goes into when it sort of gets to £50, £100. But some, not on this show, but some people would, if Elton John was watching the show, I have heard he's a regular viewer. In between practicing the piano, I mean, I've been to a couple of Elton John concerts, and I think maybe a little bit more practice at home, before you come on a large stage. I'm sorry, it's only my personal opinion. But, if he was watching or someone like that and they wanted to send 500 quid, I wonder what colour that would be in. Maybe there's a little list somewhere. Adam's good at finding things out. Can you see if there's a list of different colours of super chat somewhere? All right, teal is the colour. Turquoise. Not turquoise, no. I think there's a difference between turquoise and teal. Doesn't look like the turquoise colour. Have I got anything in here that's turquoise? I don't think I have, actually. Turquoise, no, teal and turquoise. I think they're two different colours there. Morning to teal. Everyone's saying teal there as well. Good morning to Info Scuba Diving. A very good morning to you. Info Scuba Diving, he does like professional video recording and all that. And he sent me some pictures of his setup. Very professional. Not just me sitting here talking to a £20, well, not 20 quid, but a little bit more than that, webcam, which I got off eBay. Why spend money when you don't have to? Although I will be spending a little bit of money in here on a large piece of wood to make this sort of desk in front of me a little bit bigger. Morning to Ian Days. Good morning to you, sir. Sometimes it jumps down a little bit. Sorry about that. Stephanie's got a seagull in her garden and its leg is broken. What do I do? Eat it. Eat it. Have you got a cat? They're so big, seagulls. They scare me, seagulls. We was in Whitley Bay, which is such a delightful part of the English coast. It really is. It's up on the Yorkshire coast. We was in Whitley Bay. I think it was about a year ago, and we were sitting under this sort of bandstand thing, eating chips, and there was a lot of people there. These massive, great, bloody fat seagulls everywhere. And my nephew's wife was eating her chips and one landed on her shoulder. I kid you not. She went mad. Yeah, eat it, Stephanie. Catch it and eat it. Straight in the oven, dear. But obviously you'll have to twist its neck first, though, dear. Snap. Yeah, I'm a vegetarian. I wouldn't be eating seagull myself. But there we are. That is my advice to you on this Wednesday morning, okay? How do you turn on the super chat? As I was like to do it when I live broadcast, I'm doing charity. You have to be monetized. You have to be monetized, Adam, to be able to turn that on. For that, you need over 1,000 subscribers and you need over 4,000 viewing hours. I think either in a month or a year. I'm not quite sure about that. Okay. So first of all, you've got to do those two things before you can do the super chat. Excuse me. Martin, who's in the hospital, you get one sheet and one blue thing they call a blanket. Oh, my Lord. And it's so thin you have to fold it in 4. Isn't that awful? Are you allowed to bring your own blankets in hospital? I don't suppose you are you really? Because of microbacteria and things like that. There we are. There you are. Adam did notice the sound quality. It wasn't good. So you're quite right there. All right. Lose weight. Why? That's where I wear corsets, says LaBelle. I can't be wearing a corset. Oh, that must be so uncomfortable to wear one of those. Really. Adam, apparently red is the highest. I thought red was the lowest, actually. Red is the highest, he says, at £49.99. So there we are. Okay. Ellie says, red is my best colour. I usually wear red. I'm just laying on top of my bed in my red gear. And are you ready for this, Mark? She's got the fishnet stockings on again. She's got the fishnet stockings on again. Curvy Petal, we get massive seagulls here in Frinton. Of course, where some of the pirate radio ships, weren't there? Frinton in, is it Frinton? Is that Essex, Frinton? I think it's Essex. Tony Blackburn's always goes on about Frinton on Sea, doesn't he? When he's talking on his show there. All right. she's worried the seagulls are going to fly off with her tiny Yorkshire Terrier. Well, that happened, didn't it? A dog got stolen by seagulls. How frightened. I'm frightened to walk down the coast. Mind you, there'd be a blooming few, quite a lot of seagulls had to try and lift me up off the floor. I tell you that at the moment. Ellie. I brought a seagull home one day from the beach, put him in my bath and fed him fish fingers. Had to take him to the rescue centre after 3 days, though. Why didn't you just put him in the oven? Put him in the oven, dear. Eh? Oh, dear. Martin's got to go. All right, biopsy, here I come. Good luck with your biopsy there, Martin, okay? And when they finish with it, just ask them if you can take it home in a little jar as a memento. Oh, yes, you should always take home something from a hospital as a memento of your visit, dear. There we are. Yeah, Mark's getting excited. You mentioned the fishnets. Stop that, dear. Stop that. He's got to wear those little shorts later. Don't want anything to happen when that we're thinking about your fishnet stockings. Heidi's got a picture of a seagull. I'd send it to you. Okay. I can't put that straight on, Heidi. It's not possible, technically, for me to do that, unfortunately. All right. And Mick says, the seagulls in Bristol must work out that they're massive, not good for my motors. No, I shouldn't think so either. Oh, the mess they leave when great big thing you get on the front of your blooming bonnet or something like that. You know, when that happens to me, I pray that it rains. Getting that off is no mean feat, is it? Now, talking of large birds and things like that, what an excellent link. I could be on Radio 2, you know. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC. The news at 10 o'clock with Mick Davenport. Yes, that's what I like. Raffle tickets coming up in the show today, don't forget, gang. A taxi driver was landed with a surprise bill after a goose smashed through his window. Have you seen the size of those? If you think seagulls are big, wait till a goose lands next to you. You know, those grey ones from Canada, is it? Canadian goose. The brazen bird crash landed on the back seat of the green Hackney cab as it drove between jobs in Dunkirk in Nottingham. But then, surrounded with glass, the stunned Canada goose perched calmly on the back seat, appearing to wait for a ride before police arrived. How frightening is that? I'll tell you what I have had hit my windscreen. I don't know what you call them. A colony of wasps or bees. Literally flying. There was a load of them together. And suddenly they all just hit my windscreen in the car. It's a long time ago. That was going to be about 20 years ago that happened. Oh, the mess! It was either wasps or bees. Wasp juice everywhere, all over my windscreen. And that took a while. I had to pull over. I didn't want to get out of the car in case any of them was still alive and attacked me. This cabbie says, I was dropping a passenger off, this is in this morning's Sun, at the university and was on my way home back to town. I was driving along and all of a sudden there was this big crashing sound, which was my back window. I thought someone had thrown something at the car for a start, so I slowed down to see if I could see anyone around, but there was no one. I then stopped and took a look at the back where the glass from the window was, and I saw this big bird in my car. What a dreadful thing to say about his wife. Isn't that awful to refer to someone? Oh, sorry, it's the bird. Of course, it was a shock at the time. I didn't see anything as the goose was coming from the side, and it made a lot of noise. Now, talking of geese, talking of big geese that sit making a lot of noise and no sense, I've got some very interesting information for you. There's a comedy show that's going to be on BBC One. I think it's on BBC One Colour. Do they usually show it? Or maybe the BBC News Channel. The BBC News Channel later on. That very important piece of information is coming up shortly, okay? Stand by for that. You may know already. A friend and I, go back to the story, made a call to the police who advised us taking the goose to the vets, and just after a couple of officers passing by came over, helped and reassured us, which was great. Nottinghamshire police swooped on the freak crash scene on Sunday afternoon and alerted local vets. So the goose is now recovering at the local People's Dispensary for sick animals vets. There's also actually a little video on the same Sun site of this goose that's been found, a different one, goose found passed out, and other birds filmed struggling to walk after overdosing on dumped anti-anxiety pills in a park. Oh, poor little thing. They don't know any better, do they, those little things? Poor animals, dear. Poor animals. You see, we leave this stuff around, don't we? Bits of... the worst thing, of course, is bits of plastic and that. And you see them being... I think it was something I was watching on the telly the other day of a group of people that spent time, I think, near to the water, near to the sea, and turtles would come out and they were just covered in this plastic stuff, you know, netting and stuff like that, and they couldn't get out of it. It's awful, really. Absolutely awful. Anyway, here's the information you've been waiting for, boys and girls. There's a new comedy programme about to start. It's a one-off. It's a one-off. I'm going to tell you in a minute. Let's just check your messages again, my darlings. Elle Scott Shaw sends pictures of ducks there. Thank you, Ellie. Fly guts is like glue. You can never get it off your window screen. Yeah, it's probably better than super glue though, because that's just useless. We talked about that yesterday, didn't we? Absolutely useless. Sean's just sent £2 in blue. Thank you, Sean. Now, let me see if that's the colour as the other one. No, it's a different colour. It's a different colour. So that's more like a... That's blue, isn't it? So Sean's in Dagenham and Essex. And do you know, virtually every day he sends me £2. Thank you, Sean. You're very kind. You're very kind. That will drop into my account soon, I hope, dear. Things are getting desperate here. I haven't eaten for half an hour now. Terrible. Desperate. Thank you, Sean, for your £2. You're very kind. Ellie's kept the goose for Christmas dinner instead. What a good idea. Was the goose frozen? It must have been from Iceland. Very good, Jason. Here we go. Viewers with material, dear. Carol, MC and Dave had a pigeon hit my helmet. Pardon? Oh, I beg your pardon. Had a pigeon hit my helmet while on our motorbike. Don't know who was more stunned, me or the bird feathers everywhere. Oh, that must have been ever so painful to have a pigeon hit your helmet. Christ. Heidi says you can't keep a Canadian goose. Yes, you can if you've got a big enough cage. I hate birds in cages. I think it's one of the most cruel things ever. I don't even like fish in goldfish bowls. I think that's cruel. Don't like animals in cages. Morning to Wayne Martin. Good morning to you, Wayne. Welcome to the show, Wayne. Mick watched all the Scarborough episodes last night. Loved it. And the young policeman is so funny. The black guy, isn't he? How funny is he? Absolutely hilarious. My favourite character is the old dear who runs the hairdressers. It's very, very funny. Next episode on Friday night, 9:30, BBC One Colour. All right. Morning to Dr. SRS Gregorian. Well, thanks for joining us, mate. You know, only been here for like 40 minutes. Well done for making it to the show before the end. God's sake, man. That policeman is Chris Geraldine. Are you ready? If you thought Scarborough was good, and you thought Benidorm was good, and you like Dad's Army, Are You Being Served, Keeping Up Appearances, Bless His House, any of those programmes, they are all about to be outdone by a one-off comedy show this afternoon on the BBC News Channel, probably on Sky News as well. On the BBC website this morning, are you ready for this? Diane Abbott is to stand in for Jeremy Corbyn at Prime Minister's Question Times today. I can't wait. Now, there's not an awful lot I'll give up my swimming for, because I just, you know, the whole fitness thing to me is very, very important. I probably am, although fat, I'm sort of fairly fit, you know, and I wouldn't want to be like overweight and unfit. I think that's not a good situation to be in. So that's why the swimming is really important to me. Okay, but I could go later, I suppose. I could just watch it on the catch up, couldn't I? Really, when I think about it. Let me read that to you again. On the BBC website this morning, Diane Abbott is to stand in for Jeremy Corbyn today at Prime Minister's Question Times. I can't wait for that. Oh my God. The Shadow Home Secretary will be representing her party at the weekly Commons Clash. Now, if you're outside the country, you won't know probably won't know Diana. I very much doubt she's known anywhere outside the UK, but she's known for for being a bit thick. I'm afraid she's not good with her head. You know, I wouldn't want to do Prime Minister's Question Times. I wouldn't be good with my head. You know, you've got to be a very intelligent person, I think, to stand there at Prime Minister's Question Times. And I'm sorry, she just hasn't got it. She just hasn't got it. She will face Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab, who's pretty good with his mouth, I've got to say. You know, bad choice of words again, Chris, dear. You know, he's pretty good with the stuff he comes out with. Anyway, he's standing in for Boris Johnson for the first time. But I think he'll be okay. The Prime Minister is missing Prime Minister's question times to deliver his keynote speech because he's doing a Conservative conference in Manchester. Miss Abbott says she's looking forward to leading Prime Minister's questions for Labour. The Commons is normally in recess during the party conferences, but MPs voted to keep sitting amid controversy over Miss Johnson, and then it goes into the whole Brexit thing. But there we are. So you've got to watch that today, boys and girls. Diane Abbott on Prime Minister's question times on the show today. I think that's on the BBC News channel. It's somewhere between... Someone know the time of that one? 12 noon. Thank you. Ray Reynolds is there. Morning, Ray. That's at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't wait. I can't wait. How fantastic is that? Carol MC and Dave are going to emigrate. Diane Abbott. Mark Bowles says, Fitty, what, Diane Abbott? Are you a Diane Abbott fancier? Yeah, if you are, you are. I don't think she's not, I don't think she's ugly, is she? Mind you, you know, what is ugly? I don't think many people are ugly, really. Only the ones that, I don't really see ugliness in people's looks. I see ugliness behind looks, you know what I mean? Certain people on the telly and in the newspapers who are always in the paper, and you know it's just a front. Behind it, there's this bubbling mass of green witches' potions bubbling away in their heads. That's how I see ugliness. I don't really, looks is irrelevant to me. I think looks should be irrelevant for everyone, you know, whatever someone looks like. That's not to mean that you fancy everyone, you know. I mean, I fancy everyone, to be honest. Everyone. I mean, anyone could have a go at me if they wanted to. Not that I'm easy, you know. I have to be bought at least a glass of water before anyone gets to kiss my lips. Huh? Maybe I should have my lips done. What do you reckon? Like, we'll walk around like that with those fish lips. What do people look like that, eh? Awful. Jason, the camp constable. You're absolutely right. The camp constable in Scarborough. Absolutely hilarious, isn't he? He's hilarious. Ellie, I used to have marine fish and birds, though it's cruel to keep any pet trapped. Birds love and are meant to be free to fly. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ellie. I mean, we had 2 budgerigars. We did. When I was a little boy, we had 2 budgerigars. The first one was yellow, and it was called George. And it lived in its cage. It was quite happy. They seem to be happy in its cage. I don't think it's right that a bird is in its cage. You used to put your finger in there, it would jump on the finger and come out, and you'd talk to this bird. And then more often than not, it would hop back in the cage. That's where it wanted to be. But we used to leave the cage door open. It would fly around the living room, you see. It's bright yellow, it was. And then one day, I think someone left the door open, and that was it. It was gone, mate. It flew out there. Which apparently isn't good for budgerigars because the other birds attack it. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. They're a bit jealous, the other birds. Don't know much about budgerigars. And then we got another budgerigar, which was blue and grey. And we called that budgerigar Benny, because we got it from the pets department at Bentl's. And we had that for a number of years. I'll never forget, I think I was 15 or 16 years old, and I was playing on my piano. I was the only one in the house, and Mum and Dad was out. And this bird was making funny noises in the cage, really odd noises. And I looked over at the cage, and I put my finger in, and it jumped on there, and it just didn't look right, you know. And it was kind of swaying a bit. I said, "Are you all right?" But like that it was going, and I said, "Oh, you're dying, aren't you?" Oh. You're dying. Let me put you back in there. And I knew it was dying. I went back out, come back, and there it was, flat on its back in the budgerigar cage. Poor little thing. Poor little budgerigar. But is it right to keep birds in cages? I don't think so. No, don't matter how big the cage is. They should be free to fly. I mean, they fly from country to country, don't they? I bet they're more reliable than Ryanair, huh? And a lot cheaper. How do they do that? They fly for thousands of miles, birds, don't they, between countries? Don't they need to rest? When do they rest? I don't think they sleep much, do they, birds? I mean, when they sort of migrate from here to, like, I don't know, where do they go? Where do they go from here? South Africa? I mean, that's thousands of miles, isn't it? Do they stop halfway and have a break? Do they stop checking at a travel lodge or something like that to have a rest before they continue on their journey? You never see a fat bird, do you? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed the animal kingdom? You don't really see fat animals, do you? You don't. I mean, you see big animals, but then it won't be like one or two of them are fat. They're all that size, like an elephant or a rhinoceros or a hippopotamus. They're all that size, so that must be the natural size for them. Wows and things like that. So all animals look roughly the same size. Not like us. There's stick insects like Mark Bowles, and there's fat people like me. Isn't it funny? It's just what we eat. The only fat animals you see are animals that have been fed by us. You do see some fat dogs, don't you? You absolutely do. I saw a few walking around Bracknell Shopping Centre the other day. You know, with these gorgeous little puppies in tow, and then screaming at them behind there. You know, John, come on, hurry up and push that baby up here. And there's the gorgeous bloke hanging around behind them who's about 25 or 30 years old. All right, awful this morning. One moment, please. Ellie's thinking of Orville. I wish I could fly right up to the sky, but I can't. You can. I can't. That wasn't Rod Arlo, was it? That was the other bloke, weren't it? With the duck. Orville. Was it a duck? Orville was a duck, wasn't it? It was a duck. Straight to hell, says Mick Davenport. I don't think you're wrong there, mate. Now, what else have we got here? Self-driving bins. Get ready for the raffle tickets. Self-driving bins. You like the sound of that? I'm not talking about the dust carts. One of my friends drives a dust cart, actually. Vectis Humphrey. He does a show on Vectis Radio, which is on the Isle of Wight. Good morning to Moostron. Morning, Moostron. Morning to you, sir, who says Keith Harris. That's the man, Keith Harris. I wish I could fly right up to the sky. Keith Harris and Orville the Duck. Yes, indeed. Self-driving bins. Not the bin lorries, the bins themselves. In the Daily Mail this morning, it's one of the most forgotten and painful chores, taking out the trash, it says here. Well, bins. Bins. I don't find that particularly bad, awful thing to do, do you? Doesn't bother me. In fact, I quite like doing it. Nothing I like better on a Sunday and putting my rubbish in the bin, put the rest of the rubbish and wheeling it out to where it has to go. Talking in the Daily Mail is like it's one of the worst things you can possibly have to do. No, I quite like doing it. One of the worst things you like to do is decorate. Oh no, I can't be doing that. Thank you very much. Let me just open that door there. Where's the door thing? Oh God, I've got the. What can I throw out there? Oh, this old. These are the old raffle tickets here. Look, got through a whole book, didn't we? Let me put that out there to keep that door open. 1 minute. That's better. Oh, it's getting a bit hot in here. Well, they'll have an automatic one soon of these bins. You know, the big wheelie bins. Technology has come to the rescue with a smart rubbish bin that can be pre-programmed with a specific schedule and park itself curbside to pick up. How marvellous is that? Won't have to do anything soon, will you? Paired with a companion app, SmartCan rolls out to a docking station at the end of the road and autonomously returns once the garbage has been picked up. What an excellent idea. Taking the rubbish out has become one of the most dreaded chores. Oh, you must be joking. Where do they make this up from? I bet there's no one on here watching this show at the moment who is bothered by taking out a bit of rubbish bag. For God's sake, man. Sometimes I think they invent problems that aren't actually there, if you see what I mean. I don't have any problem taking out the rubbish. It says one must make their way outside in rain, sun, sleet or snow and then haul a heavy trash can to the curb for pickup. Oh, for God's sake, it's on wheels. Okay, if you're disabled and in a wheelchair, it might be a bit difficult. But for the rest of the population, it's not that bad taking out a bin, is it? Smart Can, developed by the firm Resi, eliminates the need for homeowners to drag their garbage cans. I mean, it's obviously American, the way this has been written. Garbage cans to the curb. We call them rubbish bins. Rubbish bins to the curb by providing a motorised trash can attachment and corresponding mobile app. Got to have an app. Users can set the specific time and day they need their trash to be at the curb for pickup, and the Smart Can attachment will get there autonomously. Once picked up by collectors, the robotic trash can head back to its base after sensing the vertical movement. Are you moving vertically this morning? It says, we want to help people eliminate unnecessary chores from their daily lives. We can see an opportunity to take Lot T beyond just turning off lights and turning on music and really alleviate the burden of the mundane physical tasks that everyone faces. Oh, for God's sake, man. There's an app that comes with it. Resi is looking to build on the progress of notable smart home and LOT companies. What are LOT companies? I don't know what that is. I said, isn't that annoying when they abbreviate things and you look at the what does that mean? Don't know what that means. What does that mean? LOT? No idea. The need for these devices means that the garbage can only survive in suburban areas. There may be too much foot traffic and other elements in cities that could damage the docking stations. Well, I mean, does this thing stop when it gets to someone? Very strange indeed. The firm is set to release this to the market sometime next year. So there we are. We be needing one of those, do you think? A bin that takes itself to the side of the road. Oh, for God's sake, that's mad, isn't it? Mad, isn't it? Right, get ready for your message, for your bingo tickets. Not yet. Wait a minute. Good day to Mr. Graham Lang is announced. Morning, Graham. Who's at work on a break at the moment. Just popped in to say hi. I'll message you later. Good morning, Graham. Nice to see you. We were just talking about looking forward to the new comedy show on BBC News Channel at 12 with Diane Abbott at Prime Minister's Question Times this morning. Oh my God, they are going to crucify that poor lady. I quite like her. I can't lie to you. Diane Abbott is someone I'd happily go and sit with a pub and have a drink. I bet she's an absolute scream. I like her, but she's in the wrong job. I could see her sort of doing something like, I bet she'd be really good at looking after children in the nursery or something like that. Diane Abbott. But figures and numbers, no. I mean, how much proof do you want? God's sake. Jason, my mate works on the bins. He say it's a rubbish job. Here you are. Viewers with material. Thank you, Jason. You never see a happy bin man. Well, not anymore. You used to at Christmas when he used to knock on your door. Hello, dustman's box, please. They used to come around and ask for money, didn't they? Terrible. Yeah, look at Michael Lawrence trying to chat up Mark Bowles now. He's not gay, dear. He's just playing along, I think. That's the second person Michael's tried to get hold of this week. It was my nephew on Monday. Now he's moved on to someone else. Dear me, Michael. Sean, I've got my wife and good and proper night. I got my wife good and proper last night in bed. Pardon? This is not that sort of show. Oh, sorry, there's more to it. I beg your pardon. I got my wife good and proper last night in bed. I let one go and said to her, can you smell strawberries? She's had a good sniff. Oh, God, no, Sean. I'm sorry. The comment like that, you must be punished. They're going to be penance of a £5 super chat for that one, mate. Dear me. Sean, please, a bit of decorum in the house this morning. What's wrong with you all? Rudeness, dear. You don't get this on LBC. You've got that miserable git on there now. What's the time? Yeah, it'd be on there now. James O'Brien. Oh, my God. What a miserable git that is. Can you just imagine ever having a conversation with James O? Such a depressing person. God's sake, man. Awful. He's always moaning. Have you ever heard me moan ever in my life? No. Ellie is decorating in January herself. Look, she's put that off till January. Look, I bet she gets to January. Oh, I do it in February or I do it in March. I can't be doing decorating. My mate's going to have his house decorated soon. Roy says Chris is a has-been man. Very good. And more material, look. It's just pouring out of you today. The fun is you lot. You can find some good clothes in bins, says Jason. Yeah, my sister, and now also my nephew's wife and my best mate are all threatening to try and get hold of my recently repaired red trainers and throw them in the bin. I'll have to get a new pair out of the box. What's been in the cupboard for a couple of years? Years of wear left in those trainers, I'm telling you that now. Ellie, it would be hard, my bin heading down the steps on its own. Or maybe they can do ones that go down steps. The Daleks can do that now on Doctor Who. Yes, they can fly now. The Daleks never used to be able to go upstairs. They can now. All to do with modern technology, my dear. All right, Roy got a fine warning from the council for putting rubbish in my bin in carrier bags. Not allowed. Got to recycle, so I now bury them under the food. Oh, I do the same with my garden waste. In our council, we have brown bins, which is supposed to be for garden waste, right? But they recently introduced a charge for those, which I didn't mind at first. £25 for a year, right? Well, within the space of about 4 years, that's become 60 quid. Now, that's noticeable out of your money, isn't it? 60 quid they charge to empty your, to take away garden waste. So I put it at the bottom of the bin now, same as everyone else does. It's terrible. Oh, you don't mind 25 quid. It just goes up and up and up. How is it 60 quid to empty a bin with bits of grass in it for the year? Either that or chop it up and just spread it around on your garden. I do that as well, actually. It's good for your garden, isn't it? I thought that was a message from Diane Abbott. No, it's Jason Hughes saying Diane Abbott. Diane Abbott would look good working on the bins. She should go in with the rest of the... Oh, no, don't be nice about our Diane. Nasty about our Diane. She's just in the wrong job. That's all it is. I bet she's a good cook as well. I bet she is a good cook. Ellie says, I think everyone's getting lazier now. Getting a bin left out next. Lack of more exercise next. Exactly. That's why I must get to the swimming pool soon. Jason's just finished his breakfast roll from Greg's. Ready for raffle tickets now and then Pop Master. You don't have a bad life, do you, Jason, eh? Hey? You just get up in the morning, you watch this, then you have something from Greg's and then you do Pop Master. Good luck this morning. I hope you do better than you have been doing. Mick's wife got shouted over for filling her recycling bin. Really? For overfilling the recycling bin? What is wrong with these people? You know, you get a lot of fly tipping now, and that's because they charge for stuff down at the bin place. I mean, I took a toilet. Where was the toilet from? Where was the toilet? Did I have a toilet replaced or something? Yes, it was. Yeah, I did. I have a couple of flats that I rent out. And it was Adam the plumber actually did the bathroom. Well, we took the toilet down the dump to be done. Oh, that's £3.50, please. Sorry? It's £3.50 to dump a toilet at the rubbish tip. Yeah, which I, handed over. Wasn't happy about it, but I handed over the £3.50. Other people would just dump it somewhere. How do you know where a toilet's come from if it suddenly appears in the middle of the road or dumped in a forest? The times I've driven past, like, even out here occasionally, you see bags of rubbish that have literally been thrown out of a car window and ended up in a field. And of course, the poor farmer would have to clear that up. Disgusting. But a lot of the reason is because these blooming councils are charging for you to chuck around rubbish. I do wonder, because sometimes you would have to call the council out. Excuse me, someone's dumped a load of rubbish. Then they have to come out. And I wonder if they spend more money doing that than they do making money from people dumping toilets for £3.50 or whatever. It's shocking. Good. Get a fire bin and burn it all. I don't think you're allowed to do that in some councils, are you? So Mick's wife shouted back. Good on her, mate. Absolutely. Paula Lou says the thought of Diane Abbott and Jeremy Corbyn in the same bed put me off her. Oh dear. Oh, that awful dirty beard that he's got as well. Yeah, Michael Lawrence cannot stand James O'Brien on the radio. No, neither can I. He is such a miserable git And he moans and moans and moans, dear. Something that none of us ever do. Hang on, just a minute. Give me a second to just tear them out. How many of you today? Let me guess. I'll take out 1, 2, 3. I'll take out 4 strips. Not yet. Hang on. Because otherwise it's so difficult keeping up with you all. There we are. Before I say raffle tickets, just to remind the gang, if you are watching a recording of the show, you can get a raffle ticket as well. Simply email me at that email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and say, can I have a raffle ticket for the show dated the 2nd of October 2019? And I will return your email with your ticket number. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me get them in order. So much rushing, dear. Rush. Not Russians. Would you like to go to Russia? Anyone been to Russia? Wouldn't mind going to Russia. I like the colours of the... what's that place called? You know, with the big domes. They look like mosques, but they're not. You know, the Kremlin. Is it the Kremlin? It's beautiful. Absolutely. I'd like to go and see that in Russia. I say hello to good old Vlad while I'm over here. Vladimir Putrid, or whatever his name is. So that's good. Right, okay. Who wants a raffle ticket then? Speak now. I asked for a raffle ticket earlier, but we didn't say raffle tickets earlier. Not yet, Ellie. You've jumped the gun, dear. Here we are, 129 for Ellie. Who wants a ticket? Speak now. Ellie Shaw. There you go, Ellie. Oh, look, blimey, there we are. They are, Ellie, all right, 129. 130 for Mick Davenport. Morning, Mick. Mick Davenport, 130 for Mr. Mick Davenport. Curvy Petal, 131. Curvy Petal. I love that name. Curvy Petal. Moosetron, 132. Moosetron. Mark Bowles, 133. Mr. Loverman, I love it. Mark Bowles, 133. 134 for Jason Hughes. Thank you, Jason. Paul and Lou, 135. 136, Michael Lawrence. You moved on to anyone else yet, Michael? You haven't had a reply from Mark, have you? Try another one, Mark. If you just keep trying everyone, Michael, I'm sure there's someone that will say yes eventually, dear. Stephanie Diamond. Thanks, darling. 137 for Stephanie. Michael Pullman, 138. 139 for Carol MC and Dave. There you are. Diane Jeb, 140. $141 for Sean Pye. Sean Pye. King of the Super Chats is Sean Pye. By the way, you only get one of these things on the Super Chat, okay? One. You get one for every £2. Oh my God, there'll be none left here. Maureen gets 147. Good morning, Maureen. Maureen 137. Sorry, 147. Did I get that right? Sean, you've got 146. Maureen's got 147. Okay, Sean. And Carol MC, there's Sean. Hayley Lane. Morning, Hayley. Hayley Lane. She's not too far from here, actually. Hayley Lane is 148. 148 for you, Hayley. 149 is for Roy Brownlow. 150 is for Mr. Adrian Richardson. Morning, Adrian. 141 is for Tony King. Ba, ba, ba. Claire, 142. Is that 142 for Claire? Yeah, 142. 143 for Elle. Oh, why have you put 129 there, Ellie? What does that mean, darling? Ah. Oh, that was your ticket number, was it? Okay. Oh, sorry, love, you're confusing me there. All right, Ellie, no problem, darling. Thank you. Ian Days. Ian Days is 143. 144 for Paul Adamson. Morning, Paul Adamson. Paul is, are you still over in, oh gosh, Amsterdam, Paul? You still in Amsterdam? There's Hayley. Oh, I've got done yours, Hayley, haven't I? Already done yours, Hayley. Hang on a minute. Let's move down. There's Ellie. Where's Elle Scott Shaw gone? Elle Scott Shaw. Elle Scott done, Hayley. Jason says the website added at the bottom was blue earlier. Now it's yellow. The website. Oh, the website. Oh, do you mean that? Hang on a minute. Do you mean that? Different thing. Not paying full attention, Jason. Not paying attention. That's a different colour, just to make it stand out, and it's much bigger, as you can see. Don't forget, gang, those of you watching the show on Facebook, we will be coming off Facebook soon. You'll still get a link to the show, but you won't get a notification. We're moving exclusively over onto YouTube. It's a lot easier at this end if everyone's in the same place. Okay, my love, so make sure you sign up to YouTube and have your notifications thing set up there. youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK is where you'll find this show. All right, my loves, so make sure you let us know there. Okay. Mike Reese Ponto. Michael's only jealous, is he? One of the reasons is some of the messages don't always come over on Facebook, and they get a little bit lost there. Okay. Morning to Alan Wainwright. Morning, Alan. Now, why didn't your message come up over there? Oh, hang on. Jason, where's? Oh, there he is. Alan Wainwright. Oh, it was his birthday yesterday. Did I wish you happy birthday yesterday? Did I wish you happy birthday yesterday, Alan? I'm not sure if I did. Alan Wainwright is ticket number 145. Right at the bottom there you are, Alan, all right? Happy birthday for yesterday then. 54 years old yesterday. That's all right, isn't it? 54 is a good age. Yes. Paul Adam is still in Amsterdam. Okay, off today with a head cold. Oh, sorry, mate. Hope you get better soon. Get well soon. All right. Is that everyone? Okay, from what I can see, there's the email address. Once again, if you're watching the show as a recording, email the show in, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I will reply back to your email with your raffle ticket number. Please make sure you mention the date of the show within somewhere on the email, subject line or main body, something like that, and I'll send you back an email there. All right. Morning to Matthew Van. Morning, Matthew. Morning, Matthew. We'll do the other birthdays in a second. 151 for Matthew Van. Matthew Van. Okay. Michael Pullman. Yes, you got one. 138. 138 Michael Pullman. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. 23 tickets we've given out today. That's all right. You see, that will become probably about 50 tickets by this time tomorrow with the emails that come in. It's quite a busy thing to do. I'm just about keeping on top of it at the moment. If it gets too busy, we'll have to think of another thing to do. But we're still all right at the moment. I'm still coping at the moment in my very, very stressful life. Has everyone got a ticket this morning? Please speak now or forever hold your tongues. I think, boys and girls, my sister is once again in the newspaper. That's 3 days running now. We had the bubble of gas in the China Sea on Monday. We had something yesterday. I can't remember what it was yesterday. Anyone remember what the news story was yesterday with my sister in it? Oh, yes. That was where she was disguised as a man. She was arrested for something and farted when she was having internal investigations at the police station where they look for drugs that you are concealed. And they told her to bend over, even dressed as a man, and she farted in their face. I'm sure it was her. Well, It says in the Mail Online this morning, rising ground-based ozone levels are already decimating corn crops in regions such as India and China. Yeah, China again. I knew it. 1 minute she's in the sea, next minute she's running on fields, farting. Ozone layer. It's all coming from my sister. Even when she was a little girl, she was on the telly. You know, remember the holes in the ozone layer? That's all caused by my sister's gas being eluded from her body. Ozone, here we are, which is released as a byproduct of fossil fuel usage. And my sister is an old fossil, so it must be her. Effectively, prematurely ages the crops and makes them less efficient at making energy to grow. Unlike other emissions like carbon dioxide and methane, however, its impact of plant production has gone largely unnoticed. Researchers found that two of the most common commercial varieties of the popular vegetable suffered particularly badly when exposed to more of the gas. The resulting reduction of crop yields matched those caused by drought. So there you are. If you go out to the supermarket this weekend and you can't find your corn on the cob, then my sister is likely to have been down that supermarket before you and farted all over them, my dear. Jason says Sharon is Mrs. Methane. All right. Ellie, a great idea you've given me, a strip search. Ellie, that's just desperate to get people to put clothes off, isn't she? Right, let's do the birthdays. 1 second now. Where's our birthdays? Ooh, where are we now? Birthdays. Right, okay. I was only 4 today. 4 birthdays for you on this Wednesday, the 2nd of October 2019. Mr. Michael Creasy. Ain't seen you for years, Michael. Hope you're doing well. You're very smart in that suit there. Happy birthday to Mr. Michael Creasy. I would imagine you're about 35 now. I'm guessing, something like that. Annette Lockyer. Good morning, Annette Lockyer. Happy birthday to you. Debbie Joyce today is 51 years old today. Good morning, Debbie. Are you one of our Manilow ladies? I'm not sure if you are. No, I don't think you are one of our Manilow girls. Good morning, Debbie. I recognise your face there. And Jordan today is 40 years old. So happy birthday, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, gang. Have a lovely birthday. Adrian, yes, I did your ticket. As your mum, Adrian, hope she's all right. Adrian Richardson, where is he gone now? You were where early, you were, into the ticket thing. There it is. 150. 150 was Adrian there, okay? Alrighty, that's it for the show today. Thanks very much for joining us, boys and girls. Don't forget, it's the Diane Abbott show today on the BBC News Channel. I can't wait. I seriously can't wait for that. That's at 12 o'clock. I'll have to watch that as a recording on the catch-up or something like that, I think. And that's it. I'm off to the swimming pool now. Have a lovely day, boys and girls. Thanks very much for watching and listening to the show. And hopefully I'll see you again at some point tomorrow morning. Cheerio now.